I'll bring to you 9 top stories from the south of India. Let me now begin with the first story which is coming up on your screens. The sleazy underbelly of Mollywood exposed. Several women speak out openly in light of the Hema Committee Report. That's coming up right now. That's the focus of our story. Women voice out against men in Mollywood or Malayalam film industry. Now Mollywood is used more popularly and also to see that young people understand what it is. So whatever it takes, ladies and gentlemen, you are about to hear the voice of actress Meenu Munir, and it is this which best describes what the women in Malayalam cinema went through.
So when I went to toilet, everybody were sitting down in the ground. That time I went to the toilet, and when I came out from the toilet, someone suddenly, unexpectedly hugged me from the behind. When I turned, it was Jay Surya, and even he kissed me forcefully, and I just pushed him, and I ran down. And I was really comforted with Jagdish Kumar. He was very genuine and decent with me, and I was very comforted. I thought of sharing my this experience with him. I thought, and I just pulled the chair and I sat with him. Jagdish Kumar chair. That time Jay Surya also came behind me, and he asked me, "Meenu, I'll ask you one thing. Just answer yes or no." I just looked at him. Then he said, "I have a flat in Toronto. If you cooperate with well and good, you'll be benefited." Idevela Babu was also there, and he also expressed his interest for a relation, sexual relation.
So it's now obvious, isn't it? The fallout of the Hema Committee Report, which was released on 19th August, has now snowballed. That the redacted report revealed the sleazy underbelly of the Malayalam film industry, and it has burst upon the faces of some of the men, with finally women outing them, like Meenu Munir, who you just heard. The first casualty was senior actor Siddique, who resigned from the post of General Secretary of the Association of Malayalam Movie Artists, or AMA, after actor Revati Sampath accused him of rape. Siddique has now submitted a complaint against Revati to the DGP in Kerala in retaliation.
I had sought help, but I did not receive any support. Nobody was there. No support groups were there for me. It's not like I haven't moved legally against this. I did move legally once, but I can't do it again. If you can give assurance that they can give us security and we don't have to pay the price of our dreams, then we can come forward. I'm ready to come out with all the evidence. He sent me messages on Messenger and WhatsApp. But do we have such security? I'm still coming back to track on my career. I'm working hard.
You know, Revati is speaking about assurances because, much like what the Hema Committee Report said, if you speak against the mafia dons of Malayalam cinema, then you will not get work, you will be trolled, you will be pushed into a corner. In this entire narrative, then spoke Bengali actor Srilekha Mitra, who accused award-winning filmmaker Ranjit of sexual misconduct, forcing him to step down as chairperson of Kerala Chalachitra Academy. A two-time CPIM legislator was also under scanner following allegations by actor Meenu Munir, and she also raised allegations, like you heard, against Jayasurya, Idevela Babu and Raju, while actor Geeta Vijayan alleged that filmmaker Tulasidas tried to sexually assault her in 1991. As for the government, Pinarayi Vijayan finally formed a special investigating team to address complaints from women in the Malayalam film industry, even as many women have now said that they are willing to come out in the open and cooperate in a criminal investigation. What is the point? The point is whether the men who are proven guilty of gross misconduct, exploitation and misogyny, will they be punished or not? You know what, I've been tracking this story for an entire week. Many people told me, "Oh, you're demonizing us." I've faced a lot of trolls, but I said no. There is more than the committee. The committee is only the tip of an iceberg. So I tracked this story day after day. And some of the people who voiced their opinions on the issue throughout last week on my show, listen to their voices and we come back to the debate.
There has been a lot of back and forth on this. So to just say that, why didn't the government act on it? What happened to the government? It is not so simple. We have also been as WCC, we have also been pressing for this, but there were sensitive issues, and I think these sensitive issues were taken in mind.
Let me quote one line from Hema Committee Report itself, where Justice Hema says, let me take a caveat by saying that these experiences are not universal, but they need to be addressed. That would be the right approach. We want a sensitive balance to be maintained.
It was the CM himself who came to the reporters and conveyed the idea that, there is no conspiracy. In fact, told the media people that there was no conspiracy involved in the actress case. Now, we need to understand that it was completely unexpected from the head of the state to make such a comment on a case that was still under investigation. There are a number of other suggestions that were put forward by Hema Committee, and the government chose not to take any action. Now, if you connect all these dots, we will clearly understand that the government had clear interest to protect the criminals in the industry.
WCC has come forward and said things in public. People who have been vociferous have been sidelined. It's a negation that these people exist only.
We shall approach this show in two parts. The first is about the brave women who have now thrown a wager against the mafia dons of Malayalam industry, and second is the political fallout of the story. Let's start the debate. I shall be joined by Manju Kapoor, film producer and member Kerala Film Producers Association, in a bit. Nabil is Koluttumutodi. I hope I pronounced that second name properly, who's an activist from Kerala, is here. Nabil, my apologies if I mispronounced your second name, sir. B. Gopalakrishnan, advocate and political analyst in Kerala, and Fauzia Fatima, who's a cinematographer and founder of Indian Women Cinematography Collective, and who's spoken very, very eloquently on my show and several other shows of News9, because our focus has been on this particular issue of Hema Committee report. This far, but how further? That's the question we are asking. Let me now welcome all of you. Thank you very much for making the time. Fauzia Fatima is joining us on the phone line, if I understand well. Fauzia, I want to come to you. These voices, whether it is Ms. Munir who's spoken, whether it is Srilekha who's spoken, whether it is Revati who has spoken, don't you think that what you and I, at least I was debating, is that fine, it's a redacted report, you have to kind of, look at the security and safety and confidentiality of all those who have spoken against the men, but this is a good beginning, Fauzia Fatima.
Absolutely. People owning up and not hiding and not being afraid to voice out. It's a great start, and it definitely empowers rest of the people who may be afraid to open up. Because the more these things come out, then there's no way that one can hide from the reality, and men on the whole, they have to face it, that some among them have been really in bad behavior and absolutely inappropriate things they have been doing, and doing injustice to women, especially very passionate artists who are trying to work. So this entire belt which exploits passionate women and making use of their position of especially when they are entering, I think it's high time that they relook at how the men folk have been behaving in the industry. It is high time. It's high time.
All right. Nabil, let me now welcome you in. Nabil, you're an activist. You've done a lot of work in this sector. And, I want to ask you that a lot of people are saying, if it was there for such a long time, why was it not brought to the forefront? I don't agree with that. I mean, there is always a good time to bring, sleaze up, and it actually floats up, after a while. Tell me something, Nabil. Is it also more about power structures? Because when you listen to Meenu Munir, she says, he came from the back, he tried to touch me, he acted in a very inappropriate fashion, etc., etc., etc. I want to ask you something. That's an industry, Malayalam film industry, which is supposedly very evolved, which makes great cinema. Do you think that the power structures really matter, Nabil?
Yes, definitely. I would like to remind you that this is the continuation of a revolution which has started from 2017 February. We have been following the issue from the 2017 itself, And we have clearly noted that the government's attitudes towards these accused was very questionable. And the government's attitude was, it's in every sense, it was to protect this power group. That's what the first thing I want to highlight. Hello?
Yeah, please
Am I
go on,
audible?
sir. Can you
Hello?
hear me? Nabil, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. And
Yeah, so you
we-
were saying,
we-
yeah, go on. Go on.
Yeah, we have been following this issue since 2017. The government was in a very pressure just because of the introduction of the WCC into the into this issue, and they have been pressurized the government to form a committee instead of this. The government's attitudes to form a committee instead of a commission, that was also questionable from the beginning itself, because in the solar case, government was in need of a political agenda. Just because of the political agenda, they have constituted a commission on the solar report, but they have constituted a committee on this report, which is you know that when it comes to the legal points, when the legal differences, the commission is hyperword than the committee.
All right.
Because a commission can take action from the judicial point of view, the committee cannot.
Absolutely.
That's a
And
very
you
big
say,
issue.
you know, pretty much, Nabil, what you're saying is that there is a lack of seriousness. There seems to be a lack
that
of,
was-
yeah, there
yes,
is
that-
complete,
that was-
which I have
that was
said.
the very first-
Pinarayi government has handled this case according to me, and I've said this show after show with Fauzia and other women and men as well, that there is this attitude of, now the report is done, go home. You know, like you tell a little child, we'll punish.
Yes.
No, don't worry. Come
Yes, that's
tomorrow.
right.
You know, it's
Yes,
like they are doing us a
everything-
favor. B.
everything was to
Gopalakrishnan, let
protect-
me come back to you, Nabil. Wait. B. Gopalakrishnan, advocate and political analyst from Kerala, has also joined us. Mr. Gopalakrishnan, first it was said that we cannot possibly, you know, initiate any investigation because these people are not named. A lot of those so-called perpetrators, their names are not there. What can we do, etc., etc. Then some lawyers came together and said, they quoted the other case and said that you really don't need a name. You can actually start criminal investigation. Also, you know, Kerala police said it very clearly. Even the culture minister said it, Shaji said it very clearly that, listen, we can't possibly go after individuals. Pinarayi said, listen, we don't have the time, and also we don't have that kind of money. We are giving 1 crore for, you know, a counseling kind of body to be formed. Mr. Gopalakrishnan, we heard what Meenu Munir said. We have read what Sri Lekha has said. We also have read other people who have come out now in the open and spoken about it. Now, can these men who have been, you know, named like Siddiq, like Ranjit, like other people who have been named, also 2 people, Mukesh and Ganesh, you know, those names are also there in report. Can they be, you know, can an investigation be started against them, Mr. Gopalakrishnan?
I don't feel so, because why the government has U-turned now? Because of the public pressure. The public disclosure reportedly forced the government to change the earlier stand. What was the stand the government took earlier? That it required a complaint or legally relevant material. How a woman, how a lady, how a female, or how a victim can give openly for the case against anybody. It is a stand has been taken by the government was absolutely absurdity. You know, according to the Supreme Court verdict, if sexual harassment raised anywhere, immediately, if the report come out, the police has to register a FIR, sumoto, and inquire. This was the Supreme Court ruling. But unfortunately, here the government is siding the hunters. The government is siding the perpetrators who has done the sexual violence. Because why the government was siding these perpetrators? Because the Mukesh is CPM and Ganesh is CPM.
Right.
He is a minister in the LDF government. And Ranjit, who declared that he was an SFI. And one more point also, I want to add. You know who is the assistant of Mr. Ranjit, who has quit his position in the yesterday? You know who is the assistant director of Ranjit? The assistant director of Ranjit is M.V. Govindan's son. Who is M.V. Govindan? M.V. Govindan is the State General Secretary of CPM. So this nexus have very close relation with Marxist Party CPM. That is why the CPM side the perpetrators.
All right, I have to,
CPM
you've made some very important points, Mr.
Yeah.
Gopalakrishnan. I have to take a break. After I take a break, I come back. Mr. Gopalakrishnan, who's a lawyer, who's an advocate, he says it's a nexus, and no wonder those perpetrators who've been named now by all these women who outed them and also other people. That's why the Pinarayi government is quiet, because you scratch my back and I shall scratch yours. See you on the other side. Stay with us.
And Muktiwani Yoda was aide to Sheikh Mujibur, came to my show. I told him that the family of Sheikh Mujibur is under captivity of the Pakistani forces. The first lady came with Sheikh Mujibur and she embraced me and said, the God, the Allah has sent you to save us. Modi ji and the Hasina, during talk, she brought out this point again, that Major Ashok Tara of Indian Army said me, my mother, my sister, my brother, we got independence on 17th December because of Ashok Tara.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
All right, that's the main story, the only story that we are pursuing today on the South Indian women who voice out against men in Mollywood. Those are the brave women and those are the men who are under the scanner. Nabil is with us. He's an activist from Kerala. V. Gopalakrishnan, advocate and political analyst, and Fauzia Fatima, who's a cinematographer and founder of IWCC. Fauzia, I want to come to you. I read a very interesting thing today. They said, somebody said that both Ranjit and as well as Siddiq can keep getting work because it's not that they have been found guilty. So what is the big deal about it? Will the big deal be made about Miss Munir? Will the big deal be made about Sri Lekha? Will the big deal be made about other stars who've come out and all of them women? Why is it that even after the Hema Committee report, if this happens, don't you think that this should be totally kind of, one should get up against it and protest?
Absolutely. I am also founding member of WCC, Sudha.
Oh.
And ever since we started voicing our opinions and fighting for the rights of women and for parity in workspace, equal opportunities, what has been happening is that all the women who have been voicing opinion have been sidelined and there's been no work. So this has been seen from 17 onwards. So now, if these people are coming out and speaking, because it's already known, you are silent, even then, you have to toe the line. then you get work. So it is a matter of ethics now. It's do or die. It's better to speak out and, hold your own dignity rather than be silent and keep suffering and carry this burden of angst that others have inflicted on you. Why should the women be silent? Definitely they're not going to get opportunities either way, because it's easy to earmark, women are so few who are in the industry, and it's easy to sideline.
Yeah.
It's so easy. We have seen it in the last 7 years.
Fauzia, tell me something. Yeah, Fauzia, tell me something. You are part of the industry, and I know a lot of women who are part of the industry. Now you're saying women have to speak up, but the point is, one actress said very, very clearly, that I have spoken about it even earlier. Unless you assure me, look at the paranoia. Look at the paranoia, Fauzia, and I think more ways than one, the Pinarayi government is not assuring them that, look, it doesn't matter. Much like Ranjit and Siddiq, you will find work if you suit the role, if you suit the situation. That assurance is missing, Fauzia.
Actually, in small measures, the government has instituted the grants for women, and there has been some movement to provide opportunity for women directors to make films. That has actually been seen. 3 to 4 sets of grants have been issued in the last 4 years. I have been on the jury of the first. So there has been some move, but that doesn't counter the large industries. This is a small move that has happened, and 9 to 10 women have already made films, and there's been grants each year, 3 crore grant, and there's been a system to distribute films. So there are measures that have been happening thanks to the movement from WCC that has taken, persistent, push that has been happening. That is not enough. That's not enough. Because the lobby, the men's lobby, it's too vast, and it's very easy for them to network and sideline. The money is flowing there.
Yes, very well said. The moolah, the dollars are there. Nabil, what is the way out, Nabil? Like Fauzia says, of course, there is a group where women can showcase their own films. One has seen this in many kind of industries, where women can do, but then it's very limited. I'm also taking into account extras, people who dancers, junior artists, character artists, people who actually add to the heft of a film. What happens to them? I mean, this seems to be okay, but I don't think the government giving any assurance to these women who've come out and spoken openly, and how much they must have suffered day in and day out. At home, a lot of them spoke to me, and they don't want to be named. They said at home they would say, why are you going if he's harassing you like this? Don't you have any shame? Friends would stigmatize them and ostracize them. Then at work also they face this. I mean, what is the way out then, Nabil? All right. I think we've lost Nabil. I'll go to Gopalakrishnan, but before that, I want to play out Meenu Munir's bite yet again. Just listen to it, and then I go to Mr. Gopalakrishnan.
So when I went to toilet, everybody were sitting down in the ground. That time I went to the toilet, and when I came out from the toilet, someone suddenly, unexpectedly hugged me from the behind. When I turned, it was Jay Surya, and even he kissed me forcefully, and I just pushed him, and I ran down. And I was really comforted with Jagdish Kumar. He was very genuine and decent with me, and I was very comforted. I thought of sharing my this experience with him. I thought, and I just pulled the chair and I sat with him. Jagdish Kumar Charan. That time Jay Surya also came behind me, and he asked me, Meenu, I'll ask you one thing. Just answer yes or no. I just looked at him. Then he said, I have a flat in Toronto. If you cooperate with well and good, you'll be benefited. Idewala Babu was also there, and he also expressed his interest for a relation, sexual relation.
Mr. Gopalakrishnan, I asked this question of Nabil, and I think we've got him back, but I'll go to him in a bit. I want to come to you, Mr. Gopalakrishnan. Now, all these women, whether it is Meenu Munir, it is, Sri Lekha, it is whoever it is, I mean, lots of Revati, they are all going to, more voices apparently are going to come out. Now, if you deny them work, isn't that also a breach? Right to work is a fundamental right. Right to be safe and secure in your workplace is a fundamental right. Don't you think, apart from the criminal proceedings which should be initiated, it is also about, you can't sideline me, Mr. Gopalakrishnan. You can't sideline the women like this. This is being a mafia. This is press ganging me, Mr. Gopalakrishnan.
Yes, of course. You see, this government came with the promise that the woman's safety, we will definitely protect the woman. This government, again, second time and first time, came to power by giving the promise to all the women that the woman's safety will be the guarantee of this government. But I'm asking, what is the guarantee they are doing now? You see, the systematic violence and discrimination against women, not only in the film industry, but in Kerala everywhere.
Okay.
The government is mum. You see a cultural minister, he is taking double standard. He is taking the decision safeguarding the criminals. This is the attitude by the government. I'm asking why the government is shielding the criminals. Why can't they take a strong step against these criminals?
Exactly. Even I'm very surprised. For instance, the head of AMA, no one is talking about him. These so-called big actors, you know, whether it is Mohanlal or Mammootty, I'll name them. I mean, I love them as actors.
Whoever it may be.
Great actors. But why? How come they are silent? There is nothing is being asked. It's like everything is being brushed under the carpet. Why? Is it because of the money, like Fauzia said? They hold the press.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It is not only the matter of money, but also it is an influence created by them in the political scenario, and these people are afraid to take action against of these criminals. I am very much sure that the left government is acting on the side of criminals. Otherwise, why can't they take a criminal case? According to the Supreme Court ruling, I have already been mentioned. There are a lot of complaints are here. The first information report can be registered immediately. But the government is mum. Why? That is why all the opposition parties leveling charge against of the government. That government is keeping mum. We will not allow. We have to protest. And the women in the Kerala come forward to fight against of this discrimination.
But look at, absolutely. You have to keep protesting to get some modicum of justice. You see what's happening in Kolkata. You know, all the doctors are out. The entire nation is protesting. Sure. I think the same kind of a movement is required in Kerala. And please, no one turn around and tell me, I've been told that I am demonizing the Malayalam film industry. I'm not. The report is out. I'm sure it's happening in Tamil, in Telugu, in Kannada. It is only time when all these things will come out. It has always come out. Nabil, let me get Nabil on the screen. Nabil, it has always been there. I have heard of actresses, starlets who say, I have been oppressed. I have been touched. I have been asked for sex on demand, sexual. But then they say, oh, why do you want to speak against him? He's such a big star. Keep quiet. Otherwise, hush, you will not get any work. I have seen it in Tamil cinema, at least in front of my eyes. Nabil, I want to ask you, isn't it time that, when you deny work to these women, whether it's a Bhagyalakshmi dubbing artist, great artist she is, senior artist, whether it's Bhagyalakshmi, whether it is Sri Lekha, whether it is anyone to say, no, we cannot give you work. Don't you think some kind of a proceeding should be made against them?
Definitely, because every action when the government wants to take place will be a matter that would be taken as an example for whole the country, maybe beyond that, because these things should be restricted from the beginning itself. Because I'm not talking the things to political things, because I strictly believe just because of an inquiry from a Somoto situation, Somoto case, or through police, it will not work. As we have already seen that this so-called nexus they'll overcome this kind of investigation, because only a judicial commission in the presence of a court, that how the judicial commission works. These things only can put forward over the things more further, that makes a perfect means a better situation
Completely
for the
running
one
out of
who
time,
comes.
so I will go to Fauzia and give her the last word. I mean, we women need to rule somewhere at least. So pardon me, gentlemen. Fauzia, how do you see this panning out? Do you think there's some noise will be made and then it will kind of, die down? Or do you think Pinarayi has a long haul ahead?
I hope that justice is met, and it opens up for soul searching and opportunity for women, bigger presence of women in film industry. This I hope that the coming generation, this I see as the past, the past remnants of feudal past that doesn't influence the youngsters who are coming up, and they should see all these discussions and have very ethical stands and have a gender parity in accepting their crews, and there should be at least 50% of women in crews, and it has to overhaul the way we work in the industry, and it's not just a male domain. It has to be equal.
Absolutely.
I feel that we are headed that way. I mean, we push it that way. That is our victory, actually.
On that note, thank you very much, Fauzia, as always, for joining us on the broadcast. Nabil, thank you very much. And Gopalakrishnan, sir, thank you very much. You raising your hand. One quick point, sir, then I have to take a break. Go ahead, quickly. I think his frame's frozen, so I just have to thank Mr. Gopalakrishnan, who wanted to say something, but maybe some other time. I'm coming back with this debate. I'm not going away. I'm taking a break. When I come back, the political fallout of it with new experts and guests. Stay with us.
This was the kind of terrain that mountaineers basically climb on. You're talking of peaks of 15,000 and 16,000 feet. You have trouble breathing, the cold, the high altitude, the dizziness, the enemy staring at your face. And in some of those cases, the Pakistanis were not even expending ammunition. They were throwing rocks at Indian soldiers. That's how close it was.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
How do you fulfill that promise? Because ultimately expectations have to be met. If you look at the political landscape, is it really changing for women? And what is the inability of the forces that dead bodies surface but not the living people?
Give to me, pass. We'll put new glasses in the windows and they keep breaking it. This is the fourth time you are playing football throughout the day. Will you win the world by playing football?
Yes, uncle. I will now conquer the world by playing football. Let's go to Germany.
World's largest football talent hunt, News9 Indian Tigers and Tigresses. In association with DFB Pokal, Bundesliga, BVB and India Football Center. Train and play matches in Europe. Register now and fly to Germany. IndianTigersandTigresses.com.
Big fan of Ian Bell, watching him very classy in all formats.
I find Durban quite a challenge, which is still an enjoyable one.
You're not allowed to bowl a bouncer, so that tells you that they want to see runs on the board.
बड़े अच्छे टूर्स किए हैं, बड़ी अच्छी यादें हैं हर जगह की, जहाँ मैंने पर्सनली क्रिकेट को बहुत एंजॉय किया, ऑस्ट्रेलिया एंड इंडिया में बहुत ज़्यादा एंजॉय किया.
I love playing again England and India, and they were both very different challenges.
Up close and personal with legendary cricketers like never before. Icons of the pitch.
This and more. Streaming on News9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
All right, that's the main story that we are following today. Women voice out against men in Mollywood. We're talking about the Hema Committee Report. I said that I will do the story in two parts. First, I spoke about what is in it for the women, the future of women who've come out and spoken against certain men like Ranjit and Siddiq. Of course, more heads will roll in this case. But what about the political fallout, as it were? Pinarayi Vijayan seems to be very, very adamant, and I'm sticking my neck out from day one. I've done this story for a week, where he seems to be pussyfooting around the real issue. Let's listen into one political bite, and I'm not saying that's the only truth. There are more truths associated with it, but then I will introduce you to the guest. Listen into what Muralidharan had to say.
Malayalam film industry have come out openly and have very clearly said that the persons who have harassed them. But I am surprised that the government has decided not to initiate any legal action on this. In fact, as per the law, the government or the police has to file an FIR, then arrange for a statement to be recorded in front of the magistrate. It's more than 48 hours that these statements have been made in public. But the police or the government has not decided till now to register the FIR or initiate any steps for having a statement made before the magistrate. In fact, the government is now trying to, in a way, dilute the whole issue.
Let me introduce you to Gokul Chandra, who is a political analyst and has followed this story very, very closely. Gokul, welcome to the show. I'm very happy today, Gokul. At least women have come out and spoken. It doesn't matter how many, but they have, right? Whether it's Srilekha, whether it is Meenu Munir, whether it is Revati, everyone has spoken out. Tell me something. Why is it that Pinarayi Vijayan seems to be so reluctant? Initially, the report was redacted. We'll not go into that. There was a long delay. Someone will say, oh, there was COVID, so I don't want to go into that. The second part is, then he said, the Kerala police, the cultural minister Shaji said, well, we cannot initiate any criminal investigation because where are the names? Then they form a committee and they say, okay, take 1 crore. This is a counselling committee. What is the problem with Pinarayi Vijayan? Why is he so reluctant? Is it because Mukesh and Ganesh, both of them have some, kind of a relation with the CPIM? Is that the problem? Is there a nexus? What is the problem, Gokul, in a state like Kerala?
Good evening, Sudha.
Hi.
The problem not with Kerala, the problem with the CPM and Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan is time and again they will find some issues to divert attention of the people from a particular issue. The Kafir issue was going on. It was getting heated up on the LDF government, and suddenly what they did, they released the Hema Committee Report. So now what they will do, they will wait for something, and I'm very sure Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan and the LDF government will come up with something breaking, which will take our attention away from the Hema Committee Report and all the complaints which have been told on camera by the actress and woman concerned to the cine field. I'm happy that at least people have, as you told, the women have started speaking out, and many names have been coming up, propping up, and maybe the court should suo moto come and file the cases rather than waiting for a police FIR or police complaint or something. I wish the court comes up, they say, okay, there is enough evidence of what we are seeing on screen, on media, everywhere. So go ahead and file cases against these people and bring them to the court. That's the only solution. Otherwise, politically, I will not say LDF, and politically, I don't think this is going to end up anywhere because, the actors, yesterday, if you remember, Mr. Dharmajan, he got in a very ugly spat with one of the journalists, one of the anchors, and he belongs to the UDF, and there are these actors are divided into both the camps. So I really wish this is not a political warfare. To get
You know what?
political
Why I said Malayalam? No, wait a minute, Gokul. I said Malayalam film industry. You are one of the most evolved states. Your cinema is one of the most evolved. You have the maximum number of women who are educated. You're the first state to send women out to work. We are not talking about some Bimaru state here. This is Kerala. And there to say that Pinarayi is just, what he's doing is that he is trying to distract your attention does not wash. What will the opposition, whether it's the BJP, and I think all of you should come together because it concerns us women, what is the UDF planning to do? They say put their entire report in front of us, fine. Mr. V.D. Satheesan has also spoken about it. To know what is your next, don't say that this will also not go anywhere, then you will do great disservice to the women of your state. Gokul Chandran.
See, so on your first point, since it is Kerala, the thing has come out. See, if you take the cine field across the states, let it be Bollywood, Tollywood, Telugu cinema, or whatever it is. See, since this is being Kerala, and the Kerala women are so brave enough to come out, people have started speaking out in Kerala. Take any other state, I don't think many will come out and speak. That is the specialty of Kerala. And coming to the political point which you raised, yeah, UDF has raised the point very well. Hope the points will be sustained enough to put the government to the match and force the government to take proper action against the people who have been charged, who have been accused of. At least there will be an investigation of things which have regarding the things people have told, the women have told in camera as well as people who have spoken out. So that will be a justice to the long pending Hema Committee report.
Gokul, tell me, Gokul, I mean, we tried contacting someone from the CPIM, but of course he's unable to join us. So sorry that he couldn't, otherwise I would have asked him a couple of questions today. But Gokul, I want to ask you something, that do you think that the Pinarayi Vijayan government is hiding this because there is a lot of dirt which is there underneath it? Because I spoke to, ladies and gentlemen, I spoke about one KB Ganesh Kumar and Mukesh. Now, Mukesh is also accused of sexual harassment. He is a sitting MLA of the ruling Left Democratic Front. And, he's also been named by some people allegedly. KB Ganesh Kumar is the Minister for Transport, also a very, very prominent actor. So, do you think, Gokul, that there is a lot of dirt and therefore the man on the screen right now, Pinarayi Vijayan, he is reluctant and will see to it that nothing comes out of this, Gokul Chandran? What are you picking up on the ground?
Yeah. See, as far as Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan is concerned, he is not at all concerned about such men being in his cabinet or being his MLA or anything. You remember Mr. P.K. Shashi? You know what happened to Mr. P.K. Shashi? This Ganesh Kumar, the story of Ganesh Kumar is not so old. Nothing new. It is very old. Right from the days when Mr. Umman Chandi was accused wrongly of some wrongdoing, Mr. KB Ganesh Kumar's name propped out and people spoke about KB Ganesh Kumar, and the whole world knows who is KB Ganesh Kumar. Same with Mr. Mukesh. This is not the first time, even before the Hema Committee report came, Mr. Mukesh has been named by a few people outside. But still, they are minister in his cabinet, MLAs, and Mr. Mukesh was again given a chance to contest the MP election.
And what about actors like Mohanlal and Mammootty? Great actors, I'm a great fan. I have to stick my neck out. But why this silence? Mr. Mohanlal heads up Amma. Why is he so quiet? I want to ask. You can give news that, oh, Mammootty and I are joining hands to do this, that and the other. But they don't have the guts to come out and speak in support of all these women.
Exactly. That is what is needed. Today, Mr. Prithviraj has given a press conference just before and he has asked for justice. I think the whole of the Malayalam film industry, I will not tell just Mohanlal or Mammootty, men and women, the senior actors and senior actors and senior directors, everyone should put pressure on the government to take action against their fellow colleagues who have been affected or who have been accused. Either way, you can say, how can people come and accuse people like this? You take some action, you do a proper investigation, or the people can come and openly say, this is injustice to the women who are working with us. Few people were our co-actors, and how can they suffer this? So you have to take action. But one more thing, Sudha, I fear something more, which shouldn't happen, that somehow many people are speaking out. I welcome that. It's a very good thing. But somehow, even if one accusation proves to be wrong, then they will have a chance to say, these people are lying. See, take this case, they will take one example out of the whole episode and they will say, see, this woman has spoken in a wrong way. This particular actor was not even there. I fear nothing that sort should happen.
All right.
So before that, the government, the onus is on the government to do a proper investigation on this Hema Committee report and take whatever.
But I think, Gokul Chandran, I think this time around, the women of Kerala are not going to keep quiet. They have come out, they have spoken, they are not scared. You can take their work away. You can corner them, but their dignity will be intact. They will speak the truth. And that's my belief as well. Thank you so much, Gokul Chandran, for joining us on this broadcast. Big story, the Hema Committee report. And coming up next, look at the picture of the murder-accused Darshan. I'll show it to you. He's smoking and having a tea party in the prison, which goes viral. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and Karnataka orders an inquiry. What a travesty that is. That's the, look at that, Darshan's tea party in prison. Look at Darshan there. He's wearing a grey t-shirt and holding a cup and actually smoking a cigarette, which of course we will not show you. Having a good time. I mean, life is good in prison. You know what? There are stars and celebrity politicians, and then there are ordinary folks like you and me. Different set of rules for different people. A photograph of Kannada actor Darshan Togudeepa showing him smoking and chatting with 3 people as if he's having a party inside the prison, and that prison being Parappan Agrahara prison has gone viral. This is the same jail, ladies and gentlemen, where the former aide of J. Jayalalitha, Shashikala Natarajan, was lodged, and even at that time, undue favors to her had surfaced, how she could have meetings, she could move around freely, etc., etc. Something about the prison. Now, Darshan, let me remind you, is currently in prison after being accused of being involved in the murder of one Renuka Swami. Even as the video came to light, the picture came to light, BJP MLC Ravi Kumar questions the situation, demanding clarity from Home Minister of Karnataka Parameshwara on whether Bengaluru Central Prison is being managed as a prison or maybe a palace. Karnataka Minister Parameshwara, of course, called the incident a serious oversight and informed that an investigation into the matter has been ordered and 7 prison officials have been suspended. Now, the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has also taken cognizance of the incident on a social media post on the platform X, and he said, and I quote him, "I have taken the case of actor Darshan and others being treated seriously in Parappan Agrahara jail and suggested immediate suspension of the guilty officials. The State Director General of Police has been instructed to immediately transfer Darshan and others to different jails and to visit the jail and give a full report on the case."
But there is a lapse on the part of the officers concerned. ನಾವೀಗಾಗಲೇ 7 ಜನನ ಸಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವರನ್ನ ಸಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ಹೋಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಯಾರು ಇದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಅವಕಾಶ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು ಯಾರು ನೋಡಿ ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ರಮ ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಯೋಚನೆ ಇದೆ, ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ ಬೇಡ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಯೋಚನೆ ಇದೆ. ಇದು ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ. ಬಹುಶಃ ದುಡ್ಡು ತಗೊಂಡು ಮಾಡಿದಾರ ಏನು ಕಥೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಂಕ್ವೈರಿ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ 7 ಜನರನ್ನ ಸಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇನ್ನು ಯಾರು ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸ್ಗಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ ಸಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಈಗ 15 ಇದ್ದೀನಲ್ರಿ, ಹಿರಿಯ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳನ್ನು ಸಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಹೋಮ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಭೇಟಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಜೈಲಿಗೆ. ಅವರು ಜೈಲಿನಿಂದ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವರದಿ ತಗೋತಾರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್.
All right, you can say as much as you can, but what was Darshan doing holding a tea party inside a prison? That's a question we all need to ponder about and actually ask Siddaramaiah and G. Parameshwara that what's happening. Are parties in Karnataka now held behind prison doors? All right, as promised, I'll leave you with some of the other top headlines from the south of India. Thank you for watching. Namaskara.
Joe Biden is not going to be the Democratic presidential nominee.
I made my choice. Kamala Harris, she's experienced, she's tough, she's capable.
I took on perpetrators of all kinds, predators. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.